Hello, hello. I'm so excited. How do I put a title to this? Does anybody know? Damn. I'm wondering how to title this. Um, does anybody know how to title this? Let me see. Hey Jess, do you know, Jess, how do you make a title? How do you make a title? Okay, well, I'm gonna invite you on. Okay, whatever. There does need to be a title for this Instagram live. Hey Jeff. Okay, girl. Oh, did I accept you? Okay, we are. Love it. Bill Nye the Science Guy. We're gonna talk that astro talk today, baby. Hi, not you wearing the same shirt as me.
I was like, you're gonna hold on, I just have to clean the top of my thing. You're gonna laugh so hard because I literally was like, I'm gonna either do the I am love. I was like about to put on the I am love, and I'm like, no, what do I really need right now? And I was like, I need manifesting. So that's why I switched it last minute.
Okay, well that's the most romantic thing that's ever happened to me. Thank you.
This is hilarious. Hold on,
I am so Jeff and Jess. Oh, first of all, thank you, Jeff, for joining. And honestly, like a test run. Let's see how this goes on this website. I mean, on this account. Hopefully your followers will like find it too, or on my story. But and if anything, we can switch over. But today is such an important day astrologically that I was like, there's no way that we can't like just get together, talk a little talk, do some Reiki.
Yes.
How are you feeling though? Let me know how this energy is working with you right now.
You know, I'll be honest with you. New moons always, for some reason, I don't want to like put that out there as like this blanket statement, but they're a lot more challenging for me than full moons.
Yeah.
They really bring up a lot of, it's almost like they bring up a lot of different ways of how I'm blocking my manifesting capabilities, if that makes any sense.
Right. Well, especially when it's under an eclipse. I think eclipses, people don't realize that they trigger the shadows, right? It's like the darkest phase of the moon. And I feel like a lot of like what's underneath and what's stopping you or blocking you from like maximizing your potential is brought to the surface, which is fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I figured we could talk a little bit about what this new moon eclipse, the energy that it's bringing in, as well as this grand conjunction that you and I are going to do an event about.
Yes.
Reiki, the whole vibes, yeah?
I love it. And I love my friend Leo just joined. Hi, loves, and hello there, Jeff. Good time vibes.
Yes. Amazing. So first things first, today, right now, it's the 14th, right? December 14th. We are undergoing the new moon in Sagittarius eclipse, which is just a catalyst for really setting the stage for what we want this next, not even just this next year, but this next era of our lives to be. I mean, if you've like read anything in my newsletter, I'm basically going to be like regurgitating the same thing, but it's this idea that like we are really on the precipice of a brand new way of being, of thinking, of experiencing, of affirming our power and identifying our power and standing in our power, which I just think is like so what a shift, right? Like, do you feel like a physical, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's almost tangible the way that like I feel like it's an energetic shift and it's a choice that we have to make, but also it's like we're kind of left with no choice. Like these outdated paradigms, these outdated cycles no longer resonate with like our physical DNA, which I think is really affirming, right? The fact that like we have no choice but to show up as our best selves. Do you feel like you resonate with that at all?
Totally. I feel like what I've noticed happening, and kind of also from reading your newsletter, is just like, you know, what we have coming up and kind of starting to energetically feel that is this new way of being that people are starting to wake up to and starting to realize that there's different tools and perhaps ways that they can go in even their day-to-day life that might be more beneficial than how they are currently perhaps going through those motions. Yeah,
absolutely. And the fact is that this is activating like the North and the South node, which are in Gemini and Sagittarius, and it's this like idea of we are figuring out how we relate to brand new ways of thinking and brand new ways of just operating, and it's coming back to community. This has everything to do with the grand conjunction as well, which is this idea of like it's the first step in towards the age of Aquarius, which is about community. It's about rooting our purpose and serving each other, and not just like this like invisible man that's kind of like sucking out all of our abundance and putting it back in his own pocket, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's so like dark and capitalistic, but like that's honestly what Aquarius energy is. Hi, thank you for joining. Aquarius
Hi,
is
Kevin.
all about like coming back to, you know, what is the grand purpose of this? How can we evolve collectively, not just personally? But we do have to look at how we are operating personally in order for that to be reflected in the collective. So like, how are you showing up in a purpose that is bigger than yourself, and something that isn't rooted in feeding your own ego, but like rooted in actually raising the vibration of everybody involved, which I think is, if you're led by anything else, you're going to burn out, right? So I feel like
Totally. And I feel like that's one of the keys to manifesting that I know I talked about in my workshop, is that like, it's so great if you really want to be in this new moon energy of like, just, I don't know obviously as much as you do, but just I know new moons are a great time for manifesting, that if you really want to raise that vibration, I can't right now, mine's like all the way back here, hold on. If you want to raise that vibration, you really want to think about how your desires can perhaps benefit one person around you, or really thinking about how you can benefit the highest good for all. And I think I've always thrived better in community and doing that. Hi, Mimi. And I feel like right now people have felt isolated, right? Let's be honest. Throughout this year, there's been a lot of ways of how we're living our life that are just more restricting and how we can engage with others. And so I feel like a very strong responsibility now to really build community on online platforms in different ways so that people can still feel that energetic connection and not feeling limited, that just because it might be in a social media stance or online or Zoom, that doesn't have to feel restricting. That can feel equally as loving.
100%. And first of all, your manifesting workshop was like everything to me, because it really put me back in my own hands. And like exactly what you're saying about like digital connection is exactly what this like shift into. So obviously, just to like preface it, Jupiter,
yes, please,
or like our biggest planets in our solar systems, are for the first time in literally like 200 years, they're moving out of a sign, an earth sign, and they're moving not only into an air sign, but into Aquarius, which is the catalyst for us stepping into the age of Aquarius. But Aquarius is all about futuristic, technological advancement. So we're really stepping into a new place of like just how we operate. And above all else, we're rooting back the purpose in, you know, Aquarius is all about we the people. It's all about we the people. So it's coming back to what community does look like. And obviously in this new age, it does look very much digital, you know, connecting with people on the other side of the world, making friendships and maintaining friendships that are sustainable in, you know, perhaps technology and whatever that may be. But it's really just the purpose of like, we're breaking down, we're seeing so many tower moments and so many collective societies, whether it's in a governmental stance or even in our personal lives, we're seeing the breaking down of the way things were, because we were chosen to rebuild it with our values. You know, we are the chosen generation. We have been prepped for this moment. And
I love that. We are the chosen generation. That's beautiful.
In our, like, literally, like, so many of our natal placements, like our generations, like natal Jupiter and Saturn, all that is being activated right now, because we were meant to lead. We were meant to break down these old systems, these old ways of operating, so that we can implement ones that are actually taking into account our people, that is actually taking growth and activation and awakening. And I'm so excited about it. But it's not just like we all play a really, really divine role. So I think what this new moon is really activating in us is like, what does our role look like? And how is your serving the greater good? And that can be anything. You know, if you identify as a singer, how is your music making people feel vibrationally high? If you're a writer, how does your words, you know, make somebody feel seen? If you're a spiritual leader, how are you healing and empowering? Whatever role it is that you play, this new moon is really making us get clear on like, how are we rooting it back in serving the people, which is...
And I love that you're saying that, because I feel like that is such a wonderful place to come from in building community. Yeah. You know, where it's like really getting so clear and intentional. You know, part of the reason why when I started selling crystals, I wanted to educate people on what they can bring into your life. Not just to sell them so that people could join, even if they couldn't afford a crystal, but be able to just walk away or exit the screen, right? with a sense of wow, you know, I felt a part of a collective that was loving and supportive.
Yeah.
And I also felt like I walked away learning something, where
Yeah.
maybe you could even take a picture of the crystal and have it on your phone and be reminded of what that energy is that you know, want to transport into. So I love that you're sharing this, because I think that that's the time. And you see it so much now, where you see, when have you ever seen so many people support local business like they have this year? Shop
That's
small,
out.
support local business. You're seeing it so clearly in these ways of like, people are over supporting that paradigm that doesn't resonate, that it might be the more accessible, the more easier choice, the more available, right, option, but it's not the option that people really are wanting to buy into these days. And so what an exciting time.
That's literally exactly what I was talking about this morning. We're going back to buying local. We're going back to supporting small businesses. We're going back to putting the power back in our hands. At the end of the day, society and how it functions is only a mirror to how we are. So if we are making the active choice to support each other and to stand in our personal truths and to express our personal authenticity, that's going to be reflected in society. It's all a feedback loop, right? So we need to create this new world that we deserve by showing up for ourselves. And another thing that's really coming through so strongly, especially in Sagittarius, is owning our unique voice, not doing that is identical or a replication of anybody else, not comparing ourselves to anybody else, but really standing boldly and what our authentic expression looks like within ourselves, right? So knowing that, you know, we may be met with fear-based emotions when we do want to step into this like new role and doing things our own way or starting our own businesses or like really, you know, breaking down these outdated structures of like, you know, putting our creativity into like 9 to 5s and cubicles that we don't feel or don't want to be bound by anymore. That could be really scary, but the universe and especially Jupiter is going to support you as long as you approach it in a structured manner, that's Saturn, but B, also show up to the fact that you will be blessed and supported and protected as long as you are doing it your way and you're honoring your unique gift. No one is going to be able to you, to teach like you, to sing like you, to whatever like you, as long as you're doing it like you. So that's Jupiter's message, I would say. It's abundance and grandiosity and expansiveness, but it's honoring also authenticity. So you know, Saturn is saying, if you do want to have this expansion, you know, how are you going to go about it in a organized manner? How are you going to break the cycles that are not allowing you to move into this space? But also knowing that at the end of the day, abundance is our birthright as long as we are standing true in our authentic power, which I told you when I was doing your reading, your astro reading, I was like, you were born to be unlike anybody else. And I think everyone needs to take like a sip of your tea in that regard.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
you. So much of your success is born from the fact that you are boldly embodying who you are and not like trying to conform to anything that has been like predestined. And that's all I need to step into.
You know what? And it's so interesting because I used to work for a really, really successful brand that was inside Sephora. It's the #1 brand. And I only say that because I learned so much. And the one thing that the founder said that really stuck with me was that she didn't compare herself to anybody else. That she, like, which is very easy to do, especially in the beauty world, that she really had blinders on and just kept doing what intentionally felt good to her. And that always resonated with me. That yes, of course, there's other people out there selling crystals. There's other Reiki masters. Hey there, Mrs. Poole. There's other people that are, you know, doing, you know, there's other astrologists. There's other people who are journalists, all these. But when you can just let yourself not fall into really looking at what they're doing, what's making them successful, and just focusing on what it is that you have inside of you, that's where the unique gift comes around. Because it's almost like the moment that you start comparing yourself and you start to be into that space, you lose your own identity. And people can really see it, because people are like, yeah, I used to really like this thing, and now I'm realizing that it's kind of starting to look like this other thing, and I don't really know what that is. And it starts to really create a lot of confusion versus if you can be so clear on what it is of your uniqueness and just run with it, you know?
That's exactly what this is. It's really harnessing and getting clear on what our authentic identity is and choosing to show up as it, right? Because everything is choice. At the end of the day, you know, the universe and these lunar cycles are showing us what's no longer working and what needs to be replaced. But if we choose to ignore that and stay in our safe space and like subscribe to fear, then that is our reality. That's our chosen reality. And that's not to say that it's a bad reality. It's just not your highest potential reality. And if you
Totally.
say like, no, I do want to show up as my best possible self. I do want to have the most intense and vibrant experience of life that I possibly can. It is doing that hard work, getting rid of these cycles, changing this inner dialogue, and choosing to show up in this identity that is all encompassing and that actually, you know, is true and authentic to your genuine self. So I think that this, honestly, I have more notes written on this moon. Let me see what else I can find. But it's such a shift. It's such a shift, and really us like, and I think what I've noticed is that a lot of people right now are feeling very creative, but not wanting to work. And that is because we've been taught that this idea of like our creativity and our passions need to be expressed in like these like structured ways, when truthfully, you know, we are the ones who are now reinventing what structure looks like to us, which I think is so incredible. Thank you to everyone joining. Let me
Yes.
other notes I have. And I know you said that you had a crystal you wanted to share.
Yeah. So
Please.
the crystal that I'm going to be working with just myself is flower agate.
Oh my God. I've never heard of her.
So flower agate is so pretty because it looks, I joke and I say that this is like the Drew Barrymore in like the 90s of crystals, because like she always like wore like daisies and stuff, and like that
Yeah,
kind of totally has this vibe. This one has like a little like druzy cave on the top too.
I love
But
that.
you know, I chose this crystal because agates just in general are always going to give us a sense of tranquility and calmness, and
Mm-hmm.
also kind of boost our confidence from this grounding place. But flower agate really aligns with the heart chakra,
Mm-hmm.
which is our love, our compassion. Oh, I know. Oh, Leo, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Love, compassion. But what it really does is it helps us to reach for our highest potential.
That's exactly what this time is. That's exactly.
Exactly. And so this is a time, from what you were sharing with your emails, and also, so everybody definitely make sure you subscribe to Jasmine's emails because they're amazing. But it inspired me to start working with this crystal, because even right now in my fears, right? Because I'm totally having a lot of fear-based stories coming from this transition I am going through in my life. And I'm like, I need to just be reminded of my highest potential and keep reaching from that, from a place of love, from a place of really having compassion with myself. So this is such a wonderful crystal. I love it. And I think it's a great one to use. It's like almost like, you know, it's thinking of it like the word that it has, flower, right? It's like
Yes.
blooming your fullest potential. Yeah.
Wait, do you have any more?
I do. So this one, and I have one other one that will be on my sale this Thursday.
Okay, I'm
So
getting it. So nobody claim it. It's mine.
it's a powerful piece. I actually kept one for myself, and I want it for myself because I was like, I need to work with this crystal.
No,
Yeah.
100%. Like the message behind it is so incredibly powerful and resonating so deeply, which is this how it's this idea of like choosing to show up for our fullest potential right now. Because like I said, everything is choice. And also right now what's really divinely supported is making plans. You know, with eclipses, I wouldn't recommend, and I said this earlier, it's not really a time of like action, but it's rather figuring out what our inspired action looks like and putting structure to how we're going to show up for it.
Ooh, I'm writing that down for myself.
Yes,
Inspired
absolutely.
action.
As mentioned about feeling more creative and feeling unfulfilled, but yes, 100%, 100%. What was that? I want to definitely explore creating more. So what I would say, and what's really divinely supported right now, is rooting back to what expression and joy and curiosity looks like when it is not bound by productivity and when it's not bound by um, like the reaping of reward. So what I mean by that is like whatever you intuitively feel guided to explore, do that. But what's also really divinely supported right now is like entrepreneurism and really exploring our passions and our talents. And if we are so called to, making that our day-to-day reality. You know, we are divinely support, like this work, the work that comes from soul can also supply you with abundance and foundation as long as you structure it and you approach it in a structured manner. That's what Saturn is teaching us right now. But, you know, that also takes a lot of undoing of what we've been told success looks like and what we've been told, you know, our security comes from, you know, immediate financial stability and all of this stuff, which I know, Jess, you've been like, you had a huge transition and you really showed up in like honoring your passion as your 9 to 5. And I feel like you're experiencing every end of that, the fear of
every end of it,
the illusion of knowing that you're actually in your purpose. And it's difficult and it takes undoing, it takes coaching, but Jupiter and Saturn, especially in Aquarius right now, are saying like, it's important that we honor what means the most to us and what's authentic and true.
And I love, and you know, and I love, thank you, Divine Healing Boutique, for joining. How are you, loves? I'm manifesting you to get your crystals today. Yes, I've been thinking about how to serve others and create my own business for about a year now. Yeah, you know, and what was really interesting to me, AP, and I don't know if this might be helpful for you, but just getting really clear on your intention of what it is that you do, because you can have intention, mechanism, and outcome, right? And so the thing that really matters the most is the intention. So the more clear that you can come back to that, the more that you can always come back to that as the anchor for the messaging. And, you know, and I understand, I totally understand the monetary, but that's also temporary, right? Something that I heard today, what was really interesting, is that the universe doesn't have a timeline of when our abundance can happen, right? You can literally be in if you keep putting in the work and you keep honoring that creativity and getting so clear on how it's perhaps serving all of those around you, or getting so clear on the intention, you could end up perhaps having, you know, some struggles, but then all of a sudden it's like booming. Like there's no timeline to abundance. Like who gets to say that it's going to take me a year to make this certain amount of money? Right? When it can happen, who knows when? So really kind of also being in that playful curiosity of bringing joy to what you're creating, I feel like really helps to various energy of like what you said in your email of like this, like we've like all heard the songs, the dawn of Aquarius, and it's and it has that like spiritual just like freedom. And so it's like really, you know, I'm asking myself, am I going to bring more fear, more stress that I just left a stressful environment? Am I going to bring that with my journey creating it by not seeing perhaps the monetary results just yet, right? I don't want to project that. I'd rather be in the dawn of Aquarius vibes.
Yes, and that's exactly what we're moving into. And this morning I asked Spirit, I was like, okay, what's like the energy? What do I need to tell the people? And the first card that came out was patience.
Yes.
Talking about like divine timing. I'm like, no, we honestly need to abide by divine timing, especially with this new moon eclipse. We're very much in the planning stage. We're very much, thank you for diving in intention during meditation. Playful curiosity. Yes, it's connecting back to that inner child. Like, what is joy and how can you express it? And then how can you structure it and express it in a way that it also serves you, but also like not being bound by patriarchal ideals, but rather like, how do you want to cultivate your business? Do you want to do sliding scale? Do you want to do like donation based? Like what do you look like serving? But yeah, up, and it's this idea of like we are in the planning stage. Or not, I wouldn't say plan, we're in the getting clear about it stage, because we already are our highest selves. It's just a matter of like honoring that and showing up as that. But patience is knowing that like the benefits and the rewards that come from honoring your best self unfold just as much as they are divinely meant to. So don't rush it, but also don't expect for it to take forever. Right. Like I said, remain in that playful area of like just rooting yourself in what this step looks like and what the step after that looks like, and just like focusing on that and knowing that as long as you are maintaining that idea that you are honoring your highest self and your highest potential and your highest timeline, you're supported. So it's a beautiful time. I don't know if I have any other like major.
Hello there, Color Vice Miami. Hello there, Joseph Dallas. I love that.
Thank you everyone for
handle. I love that.
It would work on this account, but totally. And yeah, it's everything is about truth. Everything is about honoring our divine truth, showing up to what we deem is truthful in terms of our expression and in terms of what we define success as, and just coming back to we the people, truthfully, to your community, to your friendships, to your best self. All of that is what is just most important right now. And honoring the shift, showing up for yourself. So I would really advise everyone to just get clear, start journaling, and all of that good stuff. So
I love this. So like my takeaways are get clear, be patient in the structure, but get super clear on what I'm doing to
Yes.
basically get me to the next level.
Yes, get clear on who are you at your highest potential. The you that is rooted in like serving, the you that is rooted in just like having no fear. And then how can you structurally show up for that? How can you create an environment that supports that? What cycles do you need to break that no longer resonate with this version of yourself that you want to step into and that you are so divinely guided to step into? I cannot explain enough like how strong this lunar cycle is and this grand conjunction that you and I are going to be doing an event for. So also be on that. But like it's such a shift in the age of Aquarius. It's a shift in the age of the people, of us coming together, of us being our authentic expressions and allowing everybody else around us to be inspired by that. So
yes, own the power of your ripple. I believe in you.
Power
AP.
of your ripple. Yes.
Yes.
So
AP, we can totally stay connected. We're both in this together. That's the other thing too. It's so beautiful when you can really create community, because then you can, I truly believe that we can all thrive and get to where it is that we want to truly go with the support of community. Because you might be able to get to where you want to go faster by yourself, but you'll be able to sustain that way longer if you are also building community, right? Even though like my name is Just Be Inspired, so you would think, okay, it's about me. No, it's about the community that I'm building and the connections that I'm trying to ripple out to make. And so that's where it's like, you got to just trust in it.
And that looks like anything that you want to do. If you are like an engineer, a mathematician, a yoga teacher, a spiritualist, like whatever role that you want to divinely play, know that as long as you are being authentic and true and rooted in good intention, you're rippling out inspiration. So
yes. So yeah, I'd love to know, what's the ripple that you guys are going to own? I'd love to know. Anybody, like, what's your ripple? Mine's going to be trust. That's the ripple that I want to build out. Trust for myself, but by rippling that out, people will also trust in themselves.
That's with my journey. Someone just commented that, and I want to say,
oh, Mrs. Poole. I love Mrs. Poole. She's awesome.
Been a catalyst in me, like also understanding my power. So thank God I found you. And yeah, I want my
same to you, babe. Same to you for that reflection. Thank you for that reflection.
Queen. I want to ripple out empowerment. I want everyone to know that they don't need to seek anything external or outside of themselves to validate their own power, honestly. Yes.
Laughter. I love that. I love that. And by the way, Mrs. Poole, you've helped me on my journey. So see how beautiful this is that we can think that, oh, this person has helped me. And it's like, no, but they also have helped me. So it's like, that's where it's energy exchange. It's so powerful. I love that laughter.
Love. Yes. Laughter.
Please send it to us, Mrs. Poole. I could use some laughter. I really could. AP, my ripple is self-love. Oof.
Oh, my queen. You are also another person that has inspired me immensely. You have no idea. She has shown up for herself in ways that like are so brave, and like I watch her in like utter amazement, and it reminds me of how I need to be showing up for myself. So yeah, we're all mirrors of each other, and our society is reflective of that. So yeah, what you are.
We got I love that AP puts self-love, because then you're gonna help other people really know that they're deserving of self-love too. Yeah. Should we do, you want to do like a little mini meditation, and I'll do a little Reiki for the collective and share the feedback? Okay.
Awesome. So Jess is the like Reiki queen. So you guys are absolutely gonna feel this, but I'm gonna root us in some stillness. So wherever you are.
And I'll be sharing some really awesome collective feedback, and the intention is to really get into this shift of what this new moon energy is bringing us. That's what I'm communicating with my guides to send to all of you.
Perfect. So wherever you are, allow yourself to just be in your body. Work out any kinks that need some movement, that need some nourishment. With your arms, your legs, your neck, your ankles, your wrists. Before finding yourself in some stillness, taking a deep, deep, deep breath in. Holding it at the top. And sighing it out. Taking another deep breath in. Holding it fully. And releasing. And I want you in your mind's eye To begin to visualize, who are you at your fullest potential? What does your physical embodiment look like? What does your energy feel like? What colors do you see? Sensations, taste, smell, take all of it in. What does you at your fullest potential, how do they spend their time? What hobbies? What foods? What friends? What jobs? What's piquing their curiosity? What makes up their world? Our higher selves are not selves that we need to become. Our higher selves are selves that we've always been. What external things have blanketed your connection to your higher self? Is it fear? Is it anxiety? Hopelessness? Outdated cycles, beliefs, draining friendships? Visualize yourself one by one removing these layers that don't serve this step in this new era of self. Knowing that your reality is fully made up of your choices and the timeline you choose to abide by. Moving forward, what choices are you committed to making? How are you showing up for your potential? Breathing in this newfound motivation. Hold holding it. And breathing out what does not any longer serve you. When you're ready, you can begin to move life back into your limbs, knowing that the you that you've seen is the you that you can always choose to be. That felt so incredibly powerful, Jess. I physically felt that.
Same. And it was really kind of interesting because I would write something and then you would say the word.
Stop.
So yeah, I was like, okay, way to be really super tuned in. I'd love for anybody to know out there how that felt.
Please.
Reiki is a powerful energy tool to help us release the energetic blockages, and then to have that beautiful meditation as a reminder to let go of the things that don't align with our highest potential. Powerful pairing right there. So, wow. Okay. So the spiritual feedback for everybody. So feel free to chime in. The animals. So I channel animals, and they're one of my greatest spirit guides. And so the animal was tiger, which makes a lot of sense because the tiger is all about us having this sense of knowing. Yes, I love it. Yes. Having this sense of knowing that is so bold and is so courageous that nothing can waver it. Tigers actually love to look at a full moon. And I know we're in a new moon, but they love to look at a full moon whenever they need to be reminded of the luminous, the wholeness, even in the most challenging times. So the first message, so I basically read energy in each of our different chakras. So the first message was in the throat chakra, expression, communication. Now is a time to really have a sense of knowing that nothing else can disrupt. One more time. Now is a time for us to really have a sense of knowing that nothing else can disrupt. So get so clear on what is your truth right now.
Yes.
What is your truth? And stand in that truth and really make sure that you're not allowing outside forces, monetary things, whatever it is, to really disrupt you and waver in that, because that's really where your essence is. And then I asked, why are we getting this message? And I got to the heart chakra, because this is what will not only fill your cup, but others. So now is the time to really get so clear on your truth, because it's filling your own heart with that love, with that passion, with that support, but it's rippling out to others, like what we said earlier. Yes. So it's really getting clear on how you like to feed yourself. So this is the message that I got in the solar plexus. Now is a divine time to get so clear on how, when you contribute to yourself, you also contribute to others. So right now, by feeding yourself this energy, whatever that is, you're also feeding others the same. So just think about it. What energy do I want to feed myself with today? Is it laughter? Is it joy? Bringing that into your solar plexus, breathing that energy in, because that's our relationship to ourselves, and getting so clear on what that energy is, and know that if it's abundance, if it's trust, that you are then rippling that out to others. So that's where you're creating a powerful energy exchange.
Yes, you're ripple.
Yep. And then this is interesting because we talked when this is literally where you said this after I wrote it down and then you said it. It was really interesting. So now the root chakra is our beliefs. It's our upbringing. It's our family connections. It's our roots. And the message here is there's still some room to uproot some belief systems. So I can sense energetically that, like, during this live, like the people who have joined or watched the replay, that you need to hear this message, that there's definitely still some beliefs that you need to perhaps uproot to really kind of go into the shift. But what's interesting is that they were just all beliefs. So even the good ones and maybe the lower vibration ones, because there's room for expansion in both of those ways. So even if you have this belief system that's been good and that's been working for you, I encourage you to see how you can even uproot that to expand it and ask yourself this question: what is your more? That's great. What is your more? And then the ones that are not maybe perhaps in alignment, and the ones that are obviously maybe old beliefs that aren't working for you, you kind of know what to do. But the ones that even are, it's time to really ask yourself, what's your more?
Sorry, because I have to say that that's in alignment with like this idea that I've been talking about, which is that like we can subscribe to like lower timelines that aren't even bad timelines. They're good. You know, a safe relationship, a safe job, a safe, like playing it safe, playing the safe game is not a bad reality.
No.
But I encourage us to choose what is even better, what is
Right.
big, what is better.
Right.
So exactly what you were just saying.
Totally. And then the third I was, I trust in my truth. And I love this. The overall message for us is nothing will waver my truth. Nothing will waver my truth. So where are you letting outside forces waver your truth, waver your essence? So kind of the sum up here is that get so clear and intentional on your truth that nothing wavers it. Really make sure that what you're doing right now, trusting and knowing that it's not only filling up your own heart, but it's also filling up others. Now is also the time to really ask yourself, what energy do you want to feed to yourself first? Making yourself a priority, so that that energy will then ripple out to all those around you. Think about it. So many people will say in this emotional hierarchy, my family's first, this is first, all these other things are first. And they truly believe that by them doing those things, that's what will make them fulfilled. But really, if you actually allow yourself to take care of yourself first, you are able to show up with your family in such a different way than from exhaustion and burnout. So now's the time to really ask yourself, what energy are you feeding yourself with, and trust that that's rippling out to others. And really allowing yourself to look at some of the old beliefs that you're holding on to, even the ones that do help you feel safe and secure, and asking yourself, what is my more? What is my more? Because wouldn't you want to already start to be in the more before we even go into 2021? We keep talking about, I can't wait for this year to be over. I can't wait for 2021. Well, why can't we start to make the shifts now? Why does it have to be with a number that's behind it? This is the time for us to really trust in our truth and not have anything waver in it.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so powerful. I feel like we've been in this like waiting stage of like, well, when this happens, then this will happen. And it's like every single day that we wake up is a new opportunity for shift, for new beginnings, for evolution. And that's absolutely, I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah. And you might energetically wake up on, January 1st, 2021 and feel so different, right? Because it's a different shift, but you can even feel that way now.
Choice. It's all choice. It's all choice.
Yeah. Oh, I hope that this served everybody well too.
That was honestly, first of all, as I like hold the tiger, that was so incredibly on point and in alignment with what this shift is, with what this new moon is. Thank you so much for doing that. I felt that.
I love you, of course.
Physical sense. And I really would just encourage everyone to like journal a little bit on what we've talked about today. Really get clear. Everything right now is just getting clarity on what isn't working, on what is working, and what expansion looks like for you.
Yes. I love that Mrs. Poole said, yes, it's my time. And I would say for everybody, like, what is your truth? Like, if my truth is going to be that I'm going to be abundant, nothing is going to waver me from really owning that truth, right? So whatever your truth is, claim it. It is yours. Claim it now.
Claim it and embody it and be it and show up for it and honor it and structure it and like make it yours, honestly. Yes, 1,000,000%. I still can't get over the fact that we're wearing our same shirt. I love you. Thank you to everyone.
That's to me still the highlight. Thank you everybody for joining, but that's still the highlight of this.
So same. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. If you're on the replay on Instagram, make sure to follow Jess at Jess Be Inspired. She also has like the most incredible and high vibrational crystals. I have 2 of them with me right now.
Yes.
And I always keep them in my bed. And just like your crystals are like next level. So definitely support her. Definitely follow her. Thank you, Anna, for joining. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you so much for everybody that's joining. Mrs. Pools, Leo, we have APs, all you beautiful souls that joined. We had somebody else, F. Dr. Dave. So hello and thank you so much.
Enjoy this lunar phase. And we'll see you.
Hey, Shaky Yogi.
As we leave, I love you, Fee.
Yes, and we're doing a little new moon event tomorrow digitally, so feel free to join us.
Happily. Yeah, no, that's another like incredible.
Yes.
Perfect.
And also for you, Jasmine, we have something else coming up on Sunday too.
Oh my God, yeah. Wow, okay. So we have the great.
I'm trying to get better at telling people when I'm doing stuff because I realize that like I don't do that too well. So
We are teaming up with an incredible tarot reader and astrologist, Zoe, and we're going to be, I'll release more information on it because we like should actually post something about it, but we'll be doing something in conjunction
Yes.
together. I'm super excited, and yeah, all is well. Thank you guys.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.